So hi, I actually taped off the wall, so it's all ready to be painted. One wall, and anyway, a few things to bring up. Had a really rough time lately. I think if you noticed, barely anybody watched it. My video, my electronics were not cooperating with me. But I do have some good news. My mom fixed my printer, and I fixed my tablet all by myself without any yelling or throwing, stomping. uh, I just have to be in the right headspace for stuff like that. Um, but you know those little things that just add up. And I also think that I may have overextended myself a little bit in how many dog training clients I'm taking on. I mean, I kind of have a really good niche here. I live in a small town surrounded by rural areas, and I go to them, so they pay for the gas. And I'm the only dog trainer in the area, so I once things started, word of mouth went through, and my little Facebook page, um, showing people with their certificates and things like that, and just word of mouth, friend to friend. I haven't had to spend any money on hold on, it's there, advertising. Uh, anyway, I don't have any water with me right now. And something I'm going through right now, if you've watched my videos, you know that my dogs are very, very important to me. I love dogs. I I understand their communication signals way better than I understand people, because people lie. People are deceptive all the time, and dogs just can't lie. You know what I mean? So, it, there's nothing to worry about. You know where you stand. There's no worrying. As far as communication, whether a dog likes you or not. When I worked at the animal shelter, some people called me the dog whisperer, and I didn't like it because it wasn't like some sort of magical thing. It's that I just spent a lot of time paying attention to dogs while they interact with each other and people, and noticing patterns, and and doing a lot of research just for fun. So it's not like I have some magical ability. Um, it's just I've been exposed to every kind of dog, and I know this isn't about dog training, so I'll just move on. About YouTube bipolar type stuff. Okay, so I get messages like this all the time on my videos, and when I go to respond, they're gone. and I'm not really sure why. They're really great comments on my videos in general, all of them, and individually as well. And I go to respond to them, and they're gone. They're not there. So, and there's this little doohickey at the top about make sure it's in guidelines, and I'm going, what's wrong with there's nothing wrong with any of these posts. So I'm going to read one to you. And these are the kind of comments I get that nobody sees. It's not fair. So I've decided that anytime from now on that I get a comment that disappears again, I'm gonna say it in my video. So here's the most recent one, and this is from HB Health and Such. Your channel is the only one that I've found that really describes bipolar from a personal perspective rather than educative or therapeutic. It's a great value, and I don't know why there aren't more views on your videos. YouTube suppression, I'm sure. I have a diagnosis as well, and while it can be crippling, it's not necessarily something that makes anyone a loser or just normal. I find it indicative of positive traits than negative, actually, in terms of spirit and presence in the world, rather than just productivity in a conventional sense. If nothing else, there is inevitably a more authentic element to being in a state of being that merits diagnosis, I think, even if the state itself is inauthentic. That's just my opinion. God bless. Well, thank you, HB Health and Such. I think I kind of understand what you're saying. That because, I hope I'm getting this right, because you have this disorder, it actually gives you the ability to be in a state of mind and maybe even do things because you are in this unique situation where you get to see things from that aspect. I would think that would mostly apply to hypomania and mania, but can, as long as it's not too deep or that's crazy flat depression can also open your eyes and see the world, parts of the world that you sometimes just gloss over. So I get that. A lot of people are, and I was in this for a while. I was there for quite a while. Woe is me, I have bipolar disorder, or I can't tell anybody. I suck because I have these mood swings and can't do things, just comparing to other people and all of that, when maybe I should take a step back and realize that I have a unique way of seeing the world that other people will never have, and I can and I'll have the energy if it's mania or hypomania to do something about it, and not just be what they coin, like overproductive. Like that's one of the symptoms of hypomania. So why not instead of it being a symptom of a disorder, be a blessing? well, I do see that, and I would like to always think of it that way. But for example, my most recent, which I shared a little bit, sometimes I do a little bit too much online shopping. Like when I'm hypomanic, I'll rearrange everything in my brain until it fits that it's okay for me to buy things. Um, it's okay to put 20 bucks here and there on my credit card, and then, even though I already know it's higher than I'm comfortable with. But on the other hand, um, during one episode, I wrote amazing poetry, and I could never do it again. In one, I wrote a book. I could never do it again. But there are also times when it gives me, I think, left to my own devices, I would veg a lot in front of the TV. But because of the periods of hypomania I have, I'm able to get things started. For example, I had two things on my side when I started getting everything in order for the dog training biz. Part of it was when I worked at the animal shelter and I was harassed and it was crazy, and I resigned before they could fire me, not because of anything I did. It was a weird situation. I'm not going to go in. So I had that behind me, that wanting to prove to them that I don't need them to succeed. It's not like I'm lost without them. And in fact, I'm going to be my own boss, and I can dye my hair pink now, which I'm due for a touch-up, but there's been other things. So, and I was also in a state of hypomania that allowed me to focus in and really just, by the time I was exhausted, I had gotten everything ready and taken care of, and just had to start, putting up flyers, giving cards to the vets and in the area. So, and sit back and wait. And it took a while, but now I'm in demand. Excuse me. By the way, I have this fabulous new stainless steel bottle. It's a Harry Potter themed thing going. And if you know me, I have to drink water while I talk. I gotta take the tag off. I'm glad I just saw that in the camera. Okay. So there's that. My crappy ass videos from like ancient time ago, where all I did was cry all the time, got so many views and comments, it was insane. That's when YouTube was YouTube. I miss those days, and sometimes I just want to quit. And I did take a hiatus, but there's still people out there with bipolar disorder. And I'm sorry, but a 15-minute run of someone who doesn't have bipolar disorder, tell me the definition, like I can't just look that up. That's all you can find. More people need to be talking about their personal experience, it's especially helpful for people who are just diagnosed. Um, what, not just, like, it's like, they're like, well, um, hyper, like I said, hyper productivity. What the hell is that? Well, it means you can get a lot done in a short period of time. Well, there's a little more to it. Let me give you an example. So, anyway, I want to show you something. And I saw this on, I might have seen it on Instagram. I don't hang out on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, like I have a page or whatever, but I'm not on there. I don't do anything. I think I don't like it. Anyway, I saw it and I applied it to mood disorder. So, those of you with mood disorders, I would like you to meet my good things do happen jar. Now, mine is, of course, Harry Potter themed. I'm Hufflepuff, so I taped this little picture on here. I think you cut it out and I decorate. This keeps falling off. Here, I think I might just do away with it. It's just for decoration. In the gold and black. So, and then there's a section where it's clear, and I use black magic markers to make 3 lines. I'm counting them as quarters for the year, 3 months. See, I tend to get pessimistic, and I tend to get depressed. And in depression, my mind is a flurry of nothing good ever happens. Everything sucks. Everything's going to suck. I suck. So, in order for me to keep myself in line, I have found this to be extremely useful. I put every evening, and you don't have to decorate a fancy jar. You can, I don't know, get an old ashtray and use pennies, whatever. And every day, at the end of the day, I think of what was good that happened today. And I, of course, even went all out to use different sized gems to represent how good of a day it was. These little round marbles, these are those days where maybe nothing super good happened, but nothing really bad happened. Like, I'm not in the hospital, I'm not homeless, that kind of thing. Things could be worse, so that's what those are. Or just like this, or small achievement. And then my in-between, I have a lot of dietary restrictions. I have some GI problems. So if I have a good GI day, I use these because that is a very special event. And these are just a little bit bigger. Maybe I had a good training session that day. It didn't go horribly and I got through it. One of these goes in the jar. Maybe I accomplished something like fixing my tablet by myself. That's one of these. It might even be the bigger gem. The biggest gem I used is this. Now, this is exceptionally good day. Really, just like everything seemed to flow that day. I graduated a dog and they did well, and I didn't get so bloated I looked like I was pregnant with triplets, and all of my electronics worked, and I didn't forget anything. I didn't break anything because I drop stuff a lot from my tremor. So these are extra special days. And so the first time I did it was January, February, and March. And I filled the entire, perfectly filled it up all the way. And I looked at it and I told myself, these are all the good things that happened in the last 3 months. So you cannot tell me that nothing good ever happens. So you can get creative or not, but it helps me reflect daily how the day went before I go to bed. So like for today, I had an okay training session. I felt a little awkward. I was kind of bloated, and my dog's sick. So, but I got the tablet fixed. I had to do a hard reset all on my own. And I managed to back up my files onto an SD all on my own. So, I would give this just one, but because of the tablet and the trouble I have understanding, it's like a dyslexia with electronics. I'm going to go ahead and put in the next bigger one for today. Sometimes I put more than one in. But for that day. But today it's just going to be that. So if you're feeling creative and that similar to me, that pessimism and stuff, give it a try. Give it your own variation. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is that I have a feeling I'm going to be very sad very soon. My 15-year-old dog we took him in for just his usual shots and stuff, and found out he has a heart murmur, a bad one. Like they go in grades, and he's up there. And he has been on heart medication. We go in for vaccinations and leave with $50 worth of heart medication to help the heart pump better. And she said, now, if he starts coughing or has trouble situating himself so he can breathe easier, he's going to have to go on Lasix. Lasix is what you might call a water pill. It pulls fluid from the body. In his case, would be from his heart and lungs, to relieve the congestion, and then come out as urine And every dog and person I know who's on Lasix dribbles urine because it's just being constantly produced, pulling that fluid away. Luckily, I already have some of the male diapers. They're called belly bands. So he's going to be this old guy wearing belly bands, but I had a hard time keeping him on one time because for some reason he was piddling a long time ago, and then it resolved itself. And his fur's so slick that they slide off, so I don't know what we're going to do. Anyway, going from quickly enough from heart medication, he's only been on it a week and a half, I guess, and he's perkier, but when he exerts himself, he has a coughing fit. So he's going to be going on the Lasix tomorrow, and I'm just very conscious of where he is all the time. It's getting very hot in Missouri already, so he can't tolerate the heat, and he can't be outside long at all to go potty, and he can't go for walks, and even in the evening or morning. And I'm worried that this is horrible. When I am not here, it'll be up to my mom to, if she lets him outside, to know when to, like set a timer or something to let him back in. And I'm like, maybe you should just go out with him, and right after he goes potty, he comes back in with you. So, but she told us very specifically that the heart, it is very hard on the heart. And I got this guy from the shelter. I had a miniature pinscher, and she had a very bad case of separation anxiety. And so I waited till I found the exact right dog I knew was perfect for her situation. And there he was. And so he was skinny, he was on the street, he was dirty. Brought him home, house trained him, and he's been, and still is, a delight and sweetheart. Big brown eyes, with all his faults. So I'm feeling a little anxious about this. My service dog is doing fine. He's doing very well. So that is good. He's still doing his thing, helping me out. He knows when I'm having a rough time and will check on me, sometimes lay at the steps by my bedroom door, and sometimes he'll be bossy and force me to. He knows that I shouldn't be isolating and that I need to come downstairs for a while. You can train a service dog to do tasks, but when it comes to intuition, they gain over time working with you. They get a sense of, I'm responsible for you. And so he's been displaying that ability. Not all dogs have that, so I lucked out. I think that's all. I only need to. A turkey vulture flew into my car and tore off my driver's side rearview mirror, and now it's duct tape. But I got a new one, so now I have to get that on without freaking out. And then I think I can finally relax enough to do the painting that I have been um, telling you I was going to do. All of this behind me is going to be yellow. And then the sides, because it's a gabled roof, are going to be a soft pink. How about the middle colors? How about these? When it comes to projects, I don't mind doing them, like cleaning and painting and stuff. I just don't like to do them alone. I like to have company. So you all are free to come over to my house for a painting party and paint my freaking room. It's the last room in the whole house that hasn't been redone yet. So anyway, that's all I have. It's sort of a hodgepodge. I gotta go to bed now. I didn't sleep well last night. In the night before. So I think something's coming. Because usually I was in a mixed depression, so I probably am about to go into an up. Oh, I got labs, which said I haven't talked to the doctor yet, but I've seen the labs and my lithium level is high, and I'm wondering if they're going to want to decrease it, and that's going to put me into a panic because I don't like to mess with my meds because they work how I need them. I still have ups and downs, but haven't been in the hospital. I haven't been delusional. I haven't, unless there were other factors, heard things or see things. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna leave it at that and let you know that if you left me a message and then it disappeared and I didn't respond to it, is not because I did anything with it. YouTube didn't like it, I guess. But it's been happening a lot, and my viewership, which is tiny to begin with, is even worse. So it is what it is. So, all right.